All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be working through the weekly and the daily pages of the Receive and Learn Planner. So, if you are here because you've already purchased the planner and you want to see how to use these pages, then welcome. Thank you so much for purchasing my planner. It is very, very, very exciting for me that it's in your hands, and so I'm super grateful. And if you haven't purchased it and you're just checking these out to see if it's something that you do want to purchase, then welcome. I'm so happy you're here, and I hope this resonates with you. Now, I will be referencing a lot of things that I already talked about in the previous video, which is like the front half of the planner, and kind of like the philosophy and the architecture behind um, the basis of these weekly and daily pages. And so we take a care of a lot of that in the front half of the planner. And so if you kind of feel yourself getting a little bit lost as we go through the weekly and daily pages, then I encourage you to go back and watch that one because it'll kind of clarify things for you a little bit more. So without further ado, let's get into these weekly and daily pages. So let me share my screen with you. I'm going to try and zoom in on these as we talk about everything. So when you first open to these weekly pages, you're going to get your high vibe week, which is this section right here. And then you have your weekly list, you have your notes, and then Monday starts here. And then in the next spread is where you have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then finally, yes, you get full pages for Saturday and Sunday. So let's see, will it show me those? Where are you at? Here we go. Yes, so you get Saturday and Sunday, and then a notes page before it starts back over at the beginning of the week. And so, like I said in that previous video, I do have a flip through, like a planner flip through of my own planner and how I use it. And so you can kind of see why they're vertical like this and what my intention was behind designing it that way. You can see they kind of like essentially you can fold them like right here at this crease. And so that way, like you can have Monday right here next to your week. So you can see like everything you have going on for the week right next to your dailies. And then when you flip the page again, you can fold these and be able to see the weekly page that's behind this. You can understand that better when I do it physically in that flip through. So, okay. So let's start with the weekly page. So let me zoom in here a little bit. Oh no. Please tell me we can get over there. Yes, we can. Just going to do it manually. Okay. Oh, no. Come back. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's zoom back in here a little bit. Okay. So right here at the very top of the high vibe week, this is where I like to write what week I'm on. So remember in the previous video, we talked about how this is a 12-week planner. And so this is going to be your week 1 or week 2, whatever. This is where I write like what week I'm on. Or if you want to call it episodes, like sometimes I like to call them episodes. And so this is episode 1. And then every year I come up with my mantra, which we talked about in the previous video. And so I write my mantra here for the year. This is my crown design mantra, and so I want to keep it at the forefront of my mind every single week. And so I write it right here in this little box so that like it's like right there. So like, I think it took me like a good 12 weeks to memorize it for whatever reason. I don't know, but I've definitely got mine memorized now at this point. And then here is where you can fill out your little calendar. And so what I like to do is like highlight the week that I'm on. So, you can fill this out for the month and then highlight it here. And then I write like, okay, this week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. And that way I know, okay, I'm on week 2 and I can see all the dates for that particular week. It might be a little bit redundant to some, but I love a little redundancy in my life sometimes. So that's why I have this here. So you can cover up with stickers if you want. I won't be offended, trust me. Okay, so then moving on, this is the crux of the planner, right? Like this is like the architecture. This is the creme de la resistance. And so this is what this whole planner is about, right? Is your reigning path. And so these are the blissful aligned actions that we're going to take for the week for each of our life categories. And so in my planner flip through, you're going to see kind of how I use these. But for like radiant vitality, it's for my health. So like, what is the main thing that I want to be focusing on this particular week? Maybe it's I want to do, I want to do yoga every day, or I want to do 10,000 steps every day for that particular week, or I want to charge my water every day, or I want to do OMAD, for this week. Um, and so right here, you can track your progress. So if you only did it for 3 days, then you would fill up to these three squares, right? Or if you did all 7 days, then all seven of these would be filled in. Or if you only did it for one day, then it would be here. If you did those, then I've definitely had that happen where I don't fill out anything here. So it's no big deal. We're just kind of gently um, reminding ourselves what's important to us. And we can see kind of where, maybe we didn't prioritize our self care, maybe we didn't prioritize ourselves. And this is just kind of a gentle way to see that throughout the week. And so you're going to do that for every single one of these categories. So for embodied wisdom, maybe it's read 10 pages every day from whatever book it is that you're on. Um, or maybe it's just read one page, like just read one page and you can track that here, right? Emotional alchemy. How are you going to take care of your emotions and your emotional health? Sometimes for me, it's journaling. So maybe it's just like journal something, even if it's just one sentence, or do a gratitude statement. Or sometimes emotional alchemy could be like, go sit by the pool, go lay out by the pool. And that can help to regulate your emotions, whatever it is that you need, right? Soulful integrity. So, how are you staying in integrity? For me, that is doing my sacred rituals, which we talked about in the previous video. And so, am I staying on top of those? Because that means that I am acting in alignment and I'm being in integrity with my desires, is when I am practicing my sacred rituals. It could also be, it could be anything. Whatever it means to you to stay in integrity with your desires. It means that you're acting on behalf of your desires and you're staying in integrity with that. What does that mean to you? How does that look to you? And you would put that there for that week. Spiritual alignment. So this could be meditating every day. This could be, reading a spiritual book. This could be, going to retreat. Maybe you have a retreat that week or something, or maybe you do Master Co's meditation on Twin Hearts, twice a day with him on YouTube. And so that could be, you could put Master Co or whatever, and do that. Then the next one would be energetic awareness. So how are you working on your energy? How are you working on your frequency? For me, a lot of this is breath work. And so if I can remind myself, I actually have reminders on my phone to do breath work every hour. To remember that to breathe deeply, because I really struggle with that. I really do shallow breaths, and I have to remind myself to every hour at least do 5 deep breaths, and really just focus on my breath. And that really helps to center my energy and put me in the right frequency, kind of keep me in that vibrational state that I want to be in. It really just hones me in. So for me, energetic awareness is always breath work for the most part. And who knows, in a new stage of my life that might change. Then loving devotion. What are you working on this week? Maybe it means you're hugging intentionally, or you're just staying open to love, focusing on receiving. How are you receiving today? So that's personal to you, right? Whatever you want to put there. Nurturing legacy as a parent, as a mom. Maybe it's hugs. Every day I want to hug all my kids, or I want to make them laugh. So it's laughter is what you would put here. And so you would track how many days you made them laugh. You see what I'm saying? Like, these aren't like crazy, like, oh, I am, doing date nights with every single one of my, like, no. This can be really easy. This can be as simple as a hug. This can be as simple as words of affirmation, or it can be as simple as just having a good laugh together, Then kindled connection, social life. For me, I always just put text or call. I want to text or call somebody every single day. Like, I'm reaching out to keep those connections kindled in my life. Magnetism and abundance. What does this look like to you? This could be, tracking your expenses every day. This could be, you know, doing some money manifestations, or doing your, turning on your parrot app and listening to, you know, some mantras or something that you have about, bringing in money, and receiving money, and rewiring your brain against scarcity, things like that. It could be anything to do with money. Mine is, I do an exercise where, like, I spend the amount of money that I want to be able to hold. And so, like, I spend it. So, like, I have a spreadsheet where, like, I have, like, the desired amount that I want to have every day. And so every day I go in there and I spend that money how I would if I had that money. You know what I mean? So that I can get used to that energy of holding that money. And so that might change for me here pretty soon once, things start changing for me a little bit. And maybe I want to track like my actual money on top of that. And, whatever, like it's going to be different for everyone as the seasons of our life change and our needs change. Then divine passion, what is it that you specifically want to work on? Maybe like you're launching a product this week, and so you have like, okay, like product launch items, and you know exactly what those are, and so you know how many days you worked on that particular product launch. And then living beautifully. For me, sometimes this is just like do laundry every single day this week. I have 7 kids, so you can imagine the amount of laundry that I do. Or maybe it's, tidying the house, or maybe it's deep cleaning, something, or spring cleaning, or whatever. Or maybe it's, dressing up every day. Maybe that's what you want to do. Or wear makeup every day, or do your skincare every day. Whatever it means to you to live beautifully, and you want to focus on that week, that's what you would put there. So hopefully that gave you like a decent amount of examples of what you want to be working on every single week for these categories. It doesn't have to be this crazy, lofty, like super productive. No, no, no. That is the opposite of what this planner is meant to do. This is to just show us that we're living in balance and we're living in flow in every area of our life, and nothing's being neglected, that we're loving every single part of ourselves. We're loving every single part of our lives, of our souls, of what we came here to do. And that is what I have all 12 of these categories here every day. So let's move on to the next section. So my mantra this week. So for every week, I want you to pull one of, I know that this is not going to show very well, but how we had the mantras for, I don't know if it'll show, but whatever. We wrote our mantras for every single one of the life categories for our chambers. And so every week, since there's 12 categories, you can pick one of them, or two of them, whatever you want to do. And then you would write it here this week so that it's kind of at the forefront of your mind, and you can just set it to memory and just remember, like, this is my mantra for this particular week. And it's based off of one of your chambers, one of your life categories. Okay. And then here is for your word of the year. A lot of us came up with our word of the year. I highly encourage you to do that. I think it's a very good guide for how to focus the rest of your life chambers and your life categories. And I feel like it helps to keep everything in alignment when you have a word of the year. And I will be creating a workshop around this and how I do it, because it's a little bit different than how most people do it. But that's for the future. I don't quite have that together yet, so be on the lookout for that in the future. But this is where I write my word of the year. So it's just one word, and I write it here so that it's always on top of mind. And then here you're going to do top 3 aligned actions this week. So, a lot of times the planner will say like, top 3 goals this week or whatever. And so these are just aligned actions that you want to do. So this could be like, you know, daily self-care, or this could be staying in my bliss, or it could be like an actual thing like record 3 YouTube videos. This can be whatever you need it to be. They just need to be aligned actions that bring you joy, that bring you bliss, that are for your good. And so that's what we're going to put there. Okay, now I'm going to stay on this side right here, so that, and then we'll go on the other side later. But basically this is just where you put in the date right here for Monday, and then any appointments is what I usually put right here. So like if I have a Zoom call, or if I have a group coaching call, or I'm a member of other masterminds and things like that. And so I just kind of put everything that I have scheduled for the week in here, or if we have any activities with the family, I'll put those here so that I can see them for the rest of the week and be able to transfer them over to the days as I work through them. Now, on this side over here, we're going to have our main desire this week. Now, our main desire this week could be like the number one thing that you want to make sure that you get done this week. So it could be like, oh, I want to make sure that I write, 3 Instagram posts, or I have 2 blog posts, or I have 2 YouTube videos, whatever it is. It could be that, or it could be that you want to finish reading your book, or it could be that you want to lose 3 pounds this week, or, it's pretty ambitious, but okay, like you want to lose 3 pounds this week, or you want to um, uh, receive every day. You want to like find a way that you are constantly staying open to receive every day, or you want to smile every day, or you want to laugh every day. What is your main desire? Like, what is like the theme of your week this week? And so you put that there. And then here's how you're going to celebrate if you accomplish that. You know, did you laugh every single day like you said you wanted to? How are you going to celebrate that? Are you going to celebrate that with a funny movie? Are you going to celebrate that with a treat? Are you going to celebrate that with, buying yourself some stickers? That's how I celebrate a lot of the times. um, Okay, and then here's where we're going to put our cycle phase so that we know exactly where we're going to be. So if you're follicular, if you're luteal, if you're menstrual, if you're ovulating, whatever it is, you're going to put that here. And then right here below it, you're going to put how you're going to honor that cycle phase. So if you are, menstruating, how are you going to honor that? Are you going to relax more? Are you going to say, say no to more things? Um, are you going to, if you're follicular, are you gonna, go hard that week? Are you gonna do weightlifting every single day that week? How are you gonna honor it so that you're making the most out of that phase of your cycle? And then down here is just something to look forward to. I'm looking forward to, my nephew's graduation party at the end of the week, whatever, or it could be, I'm looking forward to laughing with my kids every day, just so that joy is always top of mind for us. Okay, so that's why I've got celebrations, I've got looking forward to, things like that, and how I'm going to honor, because we want to honor ourselves, and our femininity and our cycles, and how we were built. And then here in this weekly list is just kind of like a brain dump of like all the things that you would love to get done this week. That's pretty self-explanatory. And here's just some areas for notes. I am like an avid note taker, so I need like tons and tons of note space all the time. So you're going to see a lot of note space in this journal, or in this plan. Okay, so now is where we get into the dailies. And so I'll just focus on Monday because literally the rest of the days are exactly the same. Okay, so we begin with the Monday box. And so right here, you're going to write, whatever number day it is. So if it's fourth, you're going to write a big 4 right there. I usually do it in highlighter, and you'll see in my planner flip through kind of how I color these in, and where I add stickers where I can, and all the things. But I usually color all of these bars in like coordinating colors and all the things. So here's your top 3 aligned actions for the day. So very similar to the top 3 alignments that we did for the week. These are going to be for, this specific day. And then today's reigning focus for a high vibe day. So what's going to be your focus? Is it going to be a particular task that you absolutely is a non-negotiable you want to get done that day? Like, I have to film this YouTube video, or I have to write this blog post, or, I'm launching this product, or whatever. Or a lot of times for me is stay in your bliss. A lot of times it's, relax, be at peace, have peace at top of mind. It could just be a vibe that you want to have for the day. That's why I didn't say like your number one goal, or this must get done. It's like, no, this is your reigning focus. You are here to receive, and you are here to reign over your life. You are a sovereign feminine woman, and you're here to reign over your life. Therefore, you need to reign over your day. So it is going to be your reigning focus for that day, so that you can be in a beautiful high vibe. And this isn't like toxic high vibe, like every day has to be high vibe, but like if we set an intention that like, oh, all these bad things happened to me today, or whatever, but I set the intention at the beginning of the day that I was going to have a high vibe day, that I was going to be intentionally joyful, and I was going to intentionally see the good, that life is for me, that life is happening for me, and what is the lesson in these terrible things that happened to me. It's like, it's all about intention. So this isn't like toxic high vibe every day. This is like an intention of being in that vibrational frequency of this, everything's happening for me. And where is the lesson in this? And where is, my growth from this type of thing? Okay. Then we have a grateful for box. So pretty simple. I'm grateful for Facebook, or I'm grateful for my mentor. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for my kids, whatever it is that you're grateful for that day. And then I'm excited about, again, keeping joy top of mind. I am excited about, our Disney trip next month, or I'm excited about the life I'm building. I'm excited about this product I'm launching today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So let's see. Okay, real quick, I just want to differentiate here because I feel like this could be argued like, oh, well, isn't like grateful and excited about kind of like the same thing? I would say no. Um, like we can be in gratitude and excited about the same things. Absolutely. Sometimes I do write the same thing. But I wanted to differentiate because I feel like they're two feeling states that are important to have, like not just being excited about it, but like having gratitude at the same time for the same thing or for something different, and being able to express both of those emotions, and be able to hold the frequency for both of those things every day, I think is a beautiful way to live our days and to execute our days. Okay, so then we go down to a rating path again. So again, this is, like I said, the crux of the planner. This is the meat and potatoes here. So, what are your blissful aligned actions for the day for all of these categories? So, you can just transfer the exact same ones that you had for the week. You can put them in here, or you can get more specific. So, if for radiant vitality, it was you want to do yoga every day, okay, what yoga are you going to do that day? What video are you going to watch? How many minutes are you going to? So, I'm going to do 20 minutes of yoga today, right? Maybe tomorrow you do 30 minutes of yoga. Maybe tomorrow you do an hour of yoga. Um, so, like this is where you get specific. What exactly are you going to do for that particular category today? Embodied wisdom. Okay, I'm going to read 2 pages out of my book today. I'm going to listen to 30 minutes of the audiobook, or I'm going to study this course that I purchased, or whatever it is for embodied wisdom, and so on and so forth. So you just want to get really, really specific what exactly you're going to do. And so here you have options. You can check done, I did it, it's done, it's complete, or maybe it's an ongoing task. So um, I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, but like, maybe for like divine passion, that would be like a good one. Like it's a project you're working on. And so you didn't finish the project today because it's an ongoing thing. It's going to take you all week to finish it. So it's ongoing. Maybe you didn't do it at all. Maybe you didn't do any of the task at all, and so you would check off tomorrow. I'll get it done tomorrow, and so you would just transfer it to tomorrow. Easy. So at least you're checking something off every single day because that's very gratifying for us girls, right? Okay, and then down here we're gonna have our energized task list. So these are I put this isn't like your to-do list, like oh you have to do this. No, this is an energized task list. Okay, and this might sound silly to you. Okay, cool. Make fun of me all you want, but like I'm telling you, language is important, and the way we say things is important. And so when I tell myself, oh, this is my energized task list, like that immediately shows me that I can put energy into anything as long as I just desire to. And so I'm going to do things energetically and with joy. I'm not going to do things with spite or with, you know, um, grumbling or with bitterness. Like, that's not how I want to live my life. So if I have 10 loads of laundry that I need to catch up on that day, how can I find the energy and how can I get myself in the energetic like frequency and the vibration to do that with a beautiful energy. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, I'm not going to do it. Maybe my body's just like, nope, and we're going to do the 10 loads of 100 more, whatever it is. So, like, there's intention behind these words and how I wrote these because um, I want to live my life with intention. And so that's why I did it. Okay. So this is like your daily tasks essentially. And then your desired flow of the day. So this isn't like your schedule. This isn't like, a strict thing that you have to stick to. This is like your desired flow. How, if your day could go ideally, this would be the flow that it would be. And so you've got some times here as a guide if you want to, so you can like fill in, highlight a block here for an appointment that you have or a Zoom call that you have, a phone call, um, or when you're gonna wake up, when you're gonna do your skincare, when you're gonna do your workout. Yeah, yeah. This is your desired flow of the day. Okay, it's not like this concrete thing; it's a flow. Okay, and then here at the bottom, today's sweetest win. Not like what did you accomplish or like what did you set out to do that you did and where did you fall short type of thing. Like no, what was today's sweetest win? And today's sweetest win could have been like, oh, my kid did this super cute thing and they just smiled at themselves and they were just so proud of themselves and I caught that little moment and man, that was a win to be able to witness my child, be in a state of bliss. Or maybe today's sweetest win was, I did do the 10 loads of laundry, or maybe I only did one load of laundry, but that was still a win, you know? So you write your sweetest win here. It's not like this isn't like a, keeping score thing. And then how I'll be even better tomorrow. This is like assuming that you had a great day. That's what I want about this. I didn't want like, how can I improve tomorrow as if like I did a crappy job today, like I didn't want that feeling. So like, I'm going to be even better tomorrow because I was great today, but I'm going to be even better tomorrow. How can I do that? How can I be even better? You know what? Like I smiled today. Like that was my main intention for the day was like my reigning focus was to like smile as much as you know, could, bring myself to do so in authenticity. So tomorrow, I was able to hold like that energy for a smile all day. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna try and laugh like 2 times, like just find something to laugh about it. Just be like carefree about it, whatever. So maybe I'm just gonna find that. Or, maybe it would really bring me joy to finish those 10 loads of laundry. So I'll be even better tomorrow by doing those 9 loads of laundry that I didn't get done today. So, like, it's up to you to decide what this is that is non judgmental, that is not going to, like, that's not going to make you feel like, oh, I didn't do enough. That's not what this is. Um, and then finally, how I allowed myself to receive today. So remember, this is the Receive and Reign planner. This is based on the Receive and Reign Life Mastery System. And so you are reigning over your day, all of this. Like everything that we've just gone through is you reigning over your life and being that sovereign feminine woman. But you're also needing to see how you're receiving today. How did you allow yourself to receive? Did you allow somebody to help you? Did you allow your husband to kiss you? Or, did you allow your children to have a moment with you and hug you and bless you and help you with something? How did you allow somebody to encourage you when you were talking to them on the phone? Or, maybe you attended a class. So how did you allow yourself to receive from your mentor, from your coach, type of thing? And so, yeah, so how do you allow yourself to receive? That's hugely important. And that's why I wanted to finish on that, because every day I want you to see that, be aware of whether you're allowing yourself to receive or not, because that can be really tough for us sometimes. All right, you guys, that is the daily pages. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the rest of the planner is just this repeated over and over again. And then there's just 20, I believe there's 20 note pages at the back, like just blank grid note pages. So anyway, I hope that answered most of your questions. If you still have questions, please, please, please drop them in the comments down below, and I'll either make a video about it or I'll respond to you in the comments. And if you desire to like do this with me one-on-one, please, please check out that offer that I have to be able to do this with you 5 consecutive days, just one-on-one, 5 45-minute calls, and we'll set this up together. I'll hold your hand and, help you find those things that are important to you. We can do this together. And then if you're interested in the 15-week program where we do a deep dive into every single one of these chambers, these life categories, then I'll put that information down below as well. But I want to thank you so much for watching this and for purchasing the planner, or for considering purchasing the planner. And I'll be seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.